Hi friends! So, as you can see on the screen right now, I've hit Mythic, alright? Am I going to push more? No, I'm not. Why is that? It's because the frame is not permanent, I'm a frame chaser, that frame doesn't give me anything good, and so I'm going to stick in Mythic, get my tofu, and get out, right? Because I have a lot more things I want to do, I want to record more videos, I need to prep a lot more stuff, get guild going, all that kind of good things. And so you can see I've already gotten my yellow tofu here. So we're good to go, right? So what I will be chasing for in the future though will be this. See this? See this frame? I've entered, I'm an EWS challenger. I've got that, so I'm gonna, use it. See this? This is an EWS frame as well. And so that's what I will be chasing. Okay? But without further ado, what I wanted to talk to you about today is my analysis on, my battle reports on how I got myself to Mythic, what happened in the draft, why I draft a certain way, and then we will look at the outcome of what has played out from the draft. Alright? So without further ado, see I already have my pen on. Let's get to the whiteboard, shall we? So, as you can see, this is my, road to Mythic. Okay, as you can see, I'm still a Masters 3 at the time, or Masters 2 at the time before I hit Masters 3, and this was who I played. Now, what did we ban? He banned Tsukiyomi, and I banned Heinrich. Now, why did I ban Heinrich? It's because I wanted to play, a bit more tankier, and so Heinrich will, buff block me. He will put up, wound, and I didn't want to deal with that. And a lot of the times, a lot of Heinrich are also on ref. Okay, and so you can see that I had first pick here, all right, and I first picked Lingluo. All right, this was my first pick. And why did I do that? When I first pick Ling like this, it tells my opponent, first turn's all yours. Take it. Go for it. All right, and you notice that I didn't ban Lily here, and why is that? It's because I want to overwhelm my opponent with enough with a lot of animus choices so that he fumbles the bag. Alright? A lot of the time, when you give your opponent too much options, they will have too much variety and they will actually, fuck up their draft because they're like, oh, someone didn't pick a Lily. I will pick the Lily now. Okay? So that can happen, and that's why I didn't pick Lily, and I just completely gave up first turn and was like, take it, all yours. Okay, so I first picked Lingluo, and you can see that my opponent immediately wanted to play aggressive, and he went with, Messiah and Yeli. And looking at those two, I already know that he's going to try to do some kind of cleave because they're all on Revelation, and so I'm like, cool, you picked that. Now, how did I respond? I responded with Sanya and Hoyan in my protect pick. So I went Sanya on second, and on 3, I go Hoyan. And why Hoyan on 3? It's because you can see that he has picked Messiah Yeli, right? And now, the problem here is, if I can tank a Messiah's S3, that means the Yeli will be, a big disadvantage here, right? And so I picked Yeli on Hoyan on 3 to threaten his first 2 picks. Okay? So I am threatening this, and you can see that I have Sanya here, just in case shit goes south, I have a reviver. Okay? He responds on 3 with Mio Kazuya, and now putting Mio on 3 here, right, tells me that this is his fastest unit. Okay? He doesn't want me to ban it, and so he wants to take the first turn. That's what he is telling me. Okay? And then he went with a Kazuya on Revelation. Now, as you can see, the entire team is on Revelation here. And because I know that this Kazuya is going to be on Revelation, right? This is a ref cast. What that tells me is he does not have enough effect accuracy, right? Because in order to play Revelation, you need to have a minimum of, 2 crit right mains, right? And in order to do that, you can only have 1 effect accuracy main on your right side. And that will only give you about maybe 120 effect accuracy max, correct? And if you guys didn't know, my Ling is about 300 effect resistance, my Sanya is about 270 effect resistance. You're not really going to CC me now, are you? So I wasn't really scared of that Kazuyo pick, because I know that if he hits me with the Revelation, my Ling on Lighthouse is going to cut, I'm going to heal up, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay? And so how did I attempt to, answer that? I mitigated with Viper here. Alright, so this is my mitigation pick. Okay? And why did I pick, Viper? Right? Because you know that I have the last two picks here, and he has and I have the last pick here, and he has this last two here. It's because when I see him go like this, I know that I need mitigation and I need damage share, because I want to keep my entire team alive, and especially Hoyan. Okay? Because a poorly timed death on Hoyan can ruin him. Right? And so my Hoyan is already on Red Insight, passive 3. She's already on Law of Silence. She naturally already has 120 effect resistance without giving her anything. And so I am not afraid of his third and fourth pick at all, right? Viper is there to strip away the attack buff, give him attack down, give him speed down. If he ever drops an attack buff, I'm already ready for that. And you can see that he last picked Valerian here. And why did he do that? It's mostly because if Hoyan kills something, Valerian's passive will proc, stopping, the death of his units for one turn. Alright? Fair enough. But at the same time, he also picked that into a Viper, which, gets shat on immediately. Okay? Because whatever buffs that Valerian's going to give, it's just going to get stripped straight away. Alright? And so I last picked Tiamat here, because this is mitigation plus damage share. Mitigation plus damage share against a DPS team, you're doing no damage to me, right? And so you can see when you draft well, right, your last pick is always the scariest. Okay? You can see in my opponent's draft here, he's drafted in a way where there's only 2 DPS that he's playing ref. Kazuyo is a pseudo ref attacker, but realistically speaking, the only attack he has that is ref. The damage on Kazuyo itself is, a non-factor here, nothing burger. So realistically speaking, I should be banning one of these two, either Kazuyo or, Valerian, like I've told you guys. But he didn't pick well, did he? So I had the luxury to go and ban off his Messiah. And I guess you can already tell, by the little spoiler up here, that I won the match. But let's play it out and let me show you the replay on what happened here, shall we? Off to the video. Alright, so you saw what happened there. Now this is my next game, alright? I know I've played Dio a bit, and I know that he is a tank player, but I needed to push and tell people and showcase that Rev Cleaving does not work against full Bloodbath, Lighthouse, Gigabyte, that kind of shit. It's borderline impossible to actually fight this, right? And so I played a match against him, and I purposely played relatively aggressive, as you can see. Alright? So, he had first pick. He banned away, Tsukiyomi. I banned away Tiamat. Alright? Because I wanted to cleave, and I don't want to deal with Tiamat. So, the entire idea here is that I'm going to get rid of the damage share unit, and I will deal with the damage mitigation unit. Because he is definitely going to draft that, I already know it. If you're a good drafter, you would do so, right? And so he first picks Holden. Okay? Telling me that he's ready to tank down. Okay? And that's probably because that's his only DPS that he really has in his lineup, because I've already banned Tiamat, especially when you're playing Bruiser. Besides Rahu, there's really only like a Holden left for you to play. So he picked that just to make sure that I don't steal it from him. Fair play. Okay? Now, I know that I am going to play relatively heavy in, damage. And so I first picked Lily into a Yeli. Okay? Now, why did I do that? In case you guys didn't know, my Yeli is relatively fast. It's actually quite fast. And so I'm trying to, push as much damage as I can early on without the help of Lily. Because why? Because I have intention to pick Messiah on 3, which I play a bit slower. Okay? Because I have to focus on the damage. Right? Yi responds with double healer here, putting Sanya on 3. Meaning that if I kill something, he has a backup in the form of Sanya to revive that unit. Okay? Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright? So, on 3-4, what I did was I picked Messiah and Valerian. Why did I pick Valerian here? It's because I needed an attack buffer. Alright? There is no way in hell I was going to cleave through him without an attack buff. Or at least attempt to. Right? And so, me picking Valerian here is two things. One, it gives me attack buff. Two, it provides me shield. It gives me a lot more sustain so that I can play out the game for a much longer period. And three, if ever I am in a pinch, at least I have invincibility and heal over time. Okay? This could have been a Freya. Alright? It could have been a Freya. But if I went down that route, that means I was going to be, a one-turn pony. Basically, if I go through my first rotation, I don't kill anything, I am just screwed. Correct? So I chose Valerian instead. Alright? And you can see on his pick 4-5, he went Kazuyo and Viper. Now, why Kazuyo, you would ask? His Kazuyo is fast. Okay? And this is telling me that he is intending to ban Lily already. Alright? And if he bans Lily, and his Kazuyo goes first, I am just perma-fucked, am I? Because my entire team is just gonna get slapped. And if I lose the rotation, that means my Revelation is also going to be off sync, right? Because his Holden is going to cooldown reset the most important unit, and then by the time I wrap around, I already have, attack down, speed down, I'm just screwed from the get-go, okay? And so, I knew that this was already going to be my force ban. He picks, Viper here for mitigation, as per usual. This is how you play against, Rev Cleavers. This is your mitigator. And so I had to pick one more DPS here, alright? Because I needed to at least try to push his shit in, or attempt to, alright? Chance of me doing that, unlikely, because everything's on Bloodbath, everything on his side is all gigabytes. So if I take 3 turns, everything's gonna cut and just ruin my entire sequence, correct? Now, that was how I played. I know that his Kazuyo was a force ban here because I knew that he was going to be banning Lily. And so my lineup was attack buff, 3 DPS. His lineup was 3 supports, 1 DPS. Okay? If I let the Kazuyo go through and I ban the Holden instead, what happens here is I'm gonna get perma CC, which is worse. Right? At least in this case, I have a shot. If I manage to, bring down the Holden and the Sanya at the same time, I win, right? But clearly, as you can see, I got a defeat here. And so, without further ado, let's play the video and let me show you what happened, because I forfeited pretty quickly when I knew I couldn't damage him. Okay, now we are in another battle report where I lost. And why did I lose this one? That's because I decided to ego race. I decided to ego race. So I banned off, Heinrich, not Heinrich, Tiamat. He banned off the same thing. And so I already knew that we were both going to cleave. Okay? He first picks Lily. I already knew he was going to cleave because we both banned Tiamat, we both had the same idea. What I should have done was tank down. And this is a good lesson that I'm purposely doing, just so that I have analysis so I can bring to you guys and show you guys proof that whatever I say is true. I didn't know my place. I didn't know my role. I decided I'm gonna ego race. Okay? So I picked Heinrich Kazuyo. Now why did I do that? It's because, for one, my Kazuyo and my Heinrich are pretty fast and they're speed tuned in a way where when Heinrich goes, Kazuyo follows right after. There's only a 2 speed difference between them. And so I was already setting up a combo here. Okay? He goes into Freya, into Rin. Now, me looking at this draft tells me that he is trying to play a 1 DPS comp with Freya as the backup. Okay? Because Freya is going to do her thing with Revelation, 40%. Then Rin is going to just clean up her mess. That's basically what he was trying to do, right? My third and fourth pick over here was literally Tsukiyomi into Yeli. Now my Tsukiyomi is quite fast. Not the fastest, I want to say. It's about 325 speed. Not as fast, but that was my fastest unit at the time because he's picked Lily already. And because I don't want him touching that unit, I put it on the protect slot. Okay? And I have Yeli at the back here. Alright? This is a race. So I don't really need a whole bunch of damage dealers. I just need one of them to go through and that's more than enough. Okay? And you can see he picks Veronica into Valerian. And this entire composition is just telling me, hey, I am just protecting 1 DPS. One of them, either Freya or Rin, right? And so I picked Messiah at the end here because he cannot ban my Tsukiyomi already. If I win the speed race, I push Messiah, his entire team's dead. From the start. Okay? That was the entire idea, but clearly you can see I've lost this. And why is that? That's because he is so damn fucking fast. Didn't know my role, didn't know my place. Cop the L. But let's play the replay here. Now, next run. As you can see in this battle report, I did not ban Tiamat at all this time, right? Why is that? It's because I do not intend to play Cleave anymore, because Cleave is very, very wishy-washy. It's a matter of who goes first, who wins, right? And so I did not go first. He went with Kazuyo first pick. And when you go Kazuyo first pick like this, it tells me that Kazuyo is your fastest unit. Alright? I had Lily was on the board. He didn't pick Lily. Why is that? That's weird, right? And so I just decided I'm just gonna tank down. Alright? I'm just gonna play a healer and a purifier to answer his Kazuyo pick. Okay? He then goes into Doki Hoyan on 3. Okay? Why he did that? No clue. No clue. Why Hoyan on 3? I don't know. Why Doki? Turn me the pusher. Alright? Quite obvious he's trying to, play aggressive now. Okay? And so on 3, I decided to pick Holden because Holden is also a counter towards Hoyan in terms of element and also in terms of skill kit. If Holden gets a chance to S2 into Hoyan and Hoyan still lives, he's kind of doomed, right? Attack down, res down, all that good stuff. I really don't talk much about Holden here. Okay? And so I put Holden on 3. Alright, this is going to be my main DPS. And I picked Viper here for mitigation. Alright? Because I need to stay alive, correct? What did I say? When you're playing against, aggro comps or aggressive compositions or cleave, you need a mitigation unit. Alright? And so that's why I picked it here. He then fully commits and goes into Freya Messiah. Alright? Now you can see if I were to, just cover up this pick here, like that, you can see that this entire team composition is just aggressive as fuck. Alright? And so I had two ways I could play this. I could pick a Tiamat here. Unfortunately, Tiamat was banned, right? So what did I do? I could also have picked the Rahu. Rahu doesn't do enough. Alright? So what I decided to do was to pick my Yelly because my Yelly is relatively fast. She's about 310 speed. And I was going to use that to threaten him in speed. If I randomly win this battle of speed, Yelly just cleans up his entire team, right? If you just look at it. And so this was a threat to him if he was, faster than me. If he wasn't faster than me, sorry. But clearly he was. That's why he didn't ban this, and he banned the Linglo instead. And why is that? It's because he wants no healing. He wants to do enough damage to cripple me so that I can't come back. Unfortunately, we all know what happened. That's not enough damage on the board here. And so he dies. Alright? Without further ado, let's take the replay and let's see what happened, shall we? Next game. This guy going in blind with me, right? I banned out Mio because at the time I did not have Mio, so I just decided I want to let him have the entire board except for one unit that I don't have and I don't have the choice to pick it. I'm just gonna ban Mio. He decided to ban Veronica instead. Blind, by the way. And that told me, haha, this motherfucker wants to cleave. Okay? And so my hunch was right, because I first picked Ling. Again, giving up first turn, letting him have all the options in the world. Go for it, right? And he went Freya, Viper. Now, you're asking why Viper here? This is what we call a pick stealing, alright? This is just pick stealing at this point here. Did he really need to do that? Probably, because damage mitigation hurts his team comp pretty hard, right? But unfortunately, that also means he's giving up the DPS slot. And because I know that, I'm going to be playing very, very safe, in a sense. Okay? And so he banned Veronica. And that tells me a few things. That means he wants to play units that initiates with an AoE attack. That means Veronica's going to touch. It's going to get touched. She's going to do a lot of nasty shit that he cannot deal with. And so I was like, okay, cool. If he is going, Freya into Viper here, and I have first picked Lingluo, what do I put in 3 to make him strafe away from his entire idea? So I went Sanya into Hoyan on 3 blind. And why did I do that? It's because when you pick Hoyan on 3, you're telling your opponent, don't pick Yeli, don't pick any hard-hitting DPS, that is, an AoE unit, because Hoyan is just going to kill you. Okay? And so I did Hoyan on 3 on purpose, just to mess with him. But this guy did not learn his lesson, and went pick 3-4 into Yeli Messiah. So he wanted Yeli badly, you can tell. Okay? Because if I were him, I would have swapped places here. Right? I would have put Messiah on 3 and Yeli on 4. Okay? Because Messiah can counter Hoyan, but unfortunately he didn't do that. Luckily enough, I have also thought about how to counter Messiah, and that's why my Hoyan is on Law of Silence. Because my damage on AoE is now reduced by 50%. And you can see that I am not going to die from that AoE that he's going to do. Right? Because realistically speaking, when you're playing RTA, you should be able to look at the look at his board and be like, alright, so this is the turn sequence that's going to happen, X, Y, Z. And so you can see that the way he's drafted, it's going to be the Freya first to put a pack buff, and then it's going to be the Yeli, and then it's going to be maybe the Viper or the Messiah next. Right? And if either one moves first, my front 2 picks, Ling and Sanya, are just going to cut, and they're going to heal up my entire team, top me off, and then I have, basically mitigated all the damage is done. Right? And so he went on 3-4 Yeli Messiah. And I went, okay, cool. So, at this point, I had to threaten speed. Right? Could I have gone Holden? I could have. But I also can see that his board is quite weak to CC. And so I picked my Kazuyo, which is relatively fast, on Bulwark as well. Just to, have a speed threat there, just in case his Freya did not have enough to push forward. My Kazuyo can cut and sleep his entire team. That's the entire idea here. Because remember, I have not seen his last pick yet, right? And so I went Kazuyo, and then I decided, since he's already stolen this, now I'll just grab my damage share unit, right? Because this is still a form of, mitigating damage. Alright. Also Tiamat on Ember, Heart, Ruins, Cleave. Because she's just going to turn into Dragon form. And so his last pick here was Chiyaki the Echo. Alright. Now, looking at his team comp, I'm like, looks like my Kazuyo plan has failed, because he's definitely going to be banning the Tiamat here. Because Tiamat is just going to ruin his entire day. So I looked at his team comp and I went, I'm just going to ban the DPS that is the most threatening to me. And that, in that case, would be the Messiah. And that's why the Messiah was banned off. The Tiamat was banned off. And you can see that this is how good drafting works, right? Ultimately, you can see that I won this one. And why is that? It's because this was probably the fumble here. Alright? If I hold Yan on 3 before I even know what your DPS choices were, don't do that. Just don't do that. I'm already trying to tell you, stop it. Stop it. That is what I'm telling you in the draft. Right? But without further ado, let's see what happened in this match. And the last fight that we have, okay? This is the last fight. You can see it's the same person, alright? This time, he banned Vero again. Apparently, he didn't learn his lesson. He didn't ban the Hou Yan. Why? I don't know. Okay? And so, this time I went first pick Ling, as per usual. He went Viper Heinrich. Alright? Now, this is interesting because now I've never seen a Heinrich yet, and this is the first time me seeing a Heinrich. And this is to tell me he is trying to prepare for Hou Yan. Right? This is his answer to Hou Yan, per se. Alright? And so you can see that I purposely did this. Okay, on 2-3. Sanya into Hou Yan. Okay? Because I know that my healers here are super high effect resistance. They are going to be okay. And if anything happens, I still have the Sanya to back up my my Hou Yan. I know I'm not going to die on the first turn. Right? Technical error, but we're back. So, why did I do this? Why did I go Sanya into Hou Yan? First off, me doing this is on purpose. It's because I want him to not pick Yeli. Why is that? It's because I have a very strong Yeli and I want to play Yeli. Okay? And so, I purposely pick Hou Yan here because I'm telling him, don't pick Yeli. You know what's going to happen if you pick Yeli. You've already suffered it before. Right? He goes into Messiah Lily. Alright? So that tells me that he is trying to play a Messiah into a Lily push Messiah, cleave me kind of comp. Right? And so knowing that, I decided I don't see any fast units yet except the Lily. Alright? So I'm going to race you. Alright? Remember I have 2 picks left. Right? And so I went Suki Yeli. Okay? You can see how I decided to go tank. But because I saw weaknesses in his draft, I decided to push the other way very, very aggressively. Very quickly. Okay? And you can see that his answer for my last pick, my last 2 here, was Freya. Okay? And why did I ban the Freya? I banned the Freya because that's his only attack buff. A Messiah without attack buff does not kill me. There's no way it kills a Law Hou Yan. Right? And so, me banning this and not the Lily, number 1, I've already seen what his Freya speed is. I know that I can outspeed him with Tsukiyomi. But at the same time, if I give him attack buff, alright, and if by some weird miracle his units cut me, I'm fucked. Alright? And so, I was expecting him to ban Tsukiyomi here. Alright? Because he's not seen my Tsukiyomi speed. And if I'm already threatening him like this, right? A lot of people will think that you should be banning the Lily. Right? And so they would naturally want to ban this, but he didn't do that. And he banned this, which tells me that he is extremely confident in his speed. Maybe he swapped his gears. I don't know. Could happen. But he banned first pick. And that already tells me, there is a problem in the draft here in his banning. Because if he drafted well, he should 100% be banning either the Yeli or the Tsukiyomi, so that he can only have to deal with the Hoyan, right? But he decided to ban the Ling instead, because he knows that my Ling is super fast, super high res. I'm gonna heal up, I'm gonna ruin his entire career, right? Because he only has 1 DPS here. Don't forget, he only has 1 DPS here, and a sub DPS in the form of Heinrich, which doesn't do enough damage. Okay? And so you can see that I won this one, because all he did was literally just Lily Messiah, but that was not enough to clean up my team. So let's play it out, and let's see how that happened. Alright? Let's take a look. And there you have it. That is the entire, journey or analysis that I have, that I've given you a couple of examples of, and why, and the thought process behind picking and choosing. Hopefully you find value in this. I hope you liked what you have watched. And if you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one.